Hello, Bill Shaka here. Welcome to another edition of the 5-Minute Motivator. Welcome to my home in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. And welcome to part 5 of developing a personal competitive advantage. This is the 4th behavior that we're going to talk about today. Now remember, it's part 5, but it's the 4th behavior. There's 7 altogether. There's 8 parts to this because the first part was an introduction. In the 4th behavior for developing a personal competitive advantage, what I would like to talk about is integrity. Now, the word integrity is misused quite a bit. There's actually 2 definitions for integrity. The first is the adherence of a moral principle. And I think that's where a lot of people actually think about integrity. It's the adherence to something that makes sense in their life. But integrity from a scientific standpoint, also means the act of being whole. Okay, it means that there are no cracks within the structure. For example, did you ever hear about an airplane being decommissioned because of metal fatigue, and that metal fatigue caused structural disintegrity? Consequently, integrity not only means the adherence to a moral principle, but it also means that gestaltness, if you will, that wholeness, that making sure that all the components are correct, working together, and fitting together. Okay, if a machine loses integrity, it means that a gear is going out of sequence. It means that a belt isn't working right. So I want you to think about both of those terms. I mean, the word itself, integrity, comes from Middle English. It comes from the word integrate, okay, which comes from a Latin derivative, integratius, I believe. So I mean, it's a very old word. But the point here is that integrity is a very, very important part today of our mental makeup and our behavioral repertoire. And if you're looking to really develop a personal competitive advantage, something that's going to make you stick out from the rest of the crowd, integrity is definitely a way to go. Okay, so how do we put some tinsel on this tree? What do we mean when we say act in a more integrative way? Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, integrity means making the tough decisions. It means doing things that may not be popular, but are correct. I know an individual that's a big merger and acquisition person, big executive, and he says that a lot of people look at him as being the kind of individual that raids companies, goes in and just guts them. But here's what he told me, and you take this for what it's worth. He said, Bill, if you look at your hand, you've got 5 fingers. If one finger had gangrene, we would have to cut that finger off, because if we didn't, we would lose your whole hand, or you would eventually die from that gangrene in your little finger. He said, that's the way a business is. If I go into a business that's really struggling and it's being brought down, if it's got 5 divisions and one division is really bringing the business down, it's my job to cut that division off. Yes, I know people have to lose their jobs. Yes, I know that it's going to be difficult in their family life, but I also know that the other 4 divisions are going to survive because of that. The same way our 4 fingers are going to survive. He considers his job to have a great deal of integrity, adherence to moral values. Now, that's something I would like you to consider. How do we make those tough decisions, even if we have to fly in the face of popular opinion? You know, ladies and gentlemen, as I often say, our job in business is to get the job done. If we get a holiday card sent to us, that's a bonus, but it's not required. Sometimes making the tough decisions means that people are not going to be happy. But if it's the correct thing to do, then that's what we need to do. Integrity, adherence to a moral principle. Notice it's not adherence to a moral principle that's popular. It's adherence to a moral principle. It's the act of being whole, even if That wholeness requires pain. Developing a personal competitive advantage, think about integrity. I guarantee you, you will come out the other side having a gigantic competitive advantage. And speaking about coming out the other side, this is Bill Shaka thanking you for watching another edition of the 5 Minute Motivator, and I will see you on the other side. Bye-bye.